Many famous products are made right here in Tennessee, from Goo-Goos to moon pies and beyond.
In our first story, Miranda travels to Dandridge to learn more about a special side dish you've probably heard of with an iconic catchphrase. Go ahead, Miranda. I know you want to say this so bad.
I've always wanted to say that. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
When you think of family gatherings, picnics, and barbecues, there is one side dish that always has a place at the table. We're talking baked beans, Bush's baked beans to be exact.
Well, I think it's just a great balance of flavors. Certainly, there's a sweetness there, brown sugar, molasses, those kinds of notes. But then, there's a little bit of that savory that comes in with the bacon, with the mustard and some other spices.
Drew Everett is the chairman of the board of Bush Brothers, founded and still located here in the foothills of the Smoky Mountains in Dandridge, Tennessee.
I'm a fourth generation family member. My great-grandfather started the company in 1908. He had 4 sons and 2 daughters. I am the grandson of one of his sons, who he named the company after, Bush Brothers and Company.
A.J. Bush started growing and canning tomatoes on this lush farmland in the early 1900s. Too much water for tomatoes, so he had to switch crops, and he settled on beans. And like many success stories, in the very beginning, A.J. Bush and his family struggled to make ends meet.
This house was mortgaged a couple of times in order to keep the company afloat during the early days.
But the small cannery was one of the town's only employers during the Great Depression, and Bush was determined to make it, both for his family and for the community.
My aunts and my great-grandmother would serve meals out on the front lawn and on the side lawn here for folks in the community and folks that worked in the facility.
And that's when cousin Condon Bush decided to put his mother's baked bean recipe into a can.
So he came up with this idea of creating actually the baked bean that he could sell and market in the area up there. The recipe was inspired by his mother's recipe that she used to serve to the community here and to the family when he was growing up. They figured out a way to get this recipe in a can and taste just like his mother's.
The sweet and savory beans in a can caught on. Today, more than a century later, the family is still here on some 3,000 acres. The recipe is still the same, but the canning facility is state-of-the-art, which you can see for yourself.
This is the home of our original manufacturing facility, and we really designed it around the bean. We can run a lot of beans through the plant every day. We're making about 1,000 cans a minute.
And the beans are so beloved, they have become a tourist attraction. Scott Schrader is the general manager and oversees the busy visitor center, general store, and even the Bean Museum.
There's so many people that go, I'm coming to a bean museum, and they leave and they go, we went to a bean museum. At our visitor center, we see probably about 150,000 people a year. And it just gives us the opportunity to connect with our consumers and tell our story. There's our early history, our tour video, and then what we've got going on with our brand today.
They can get a feel for what goes into the product, how it's made, and the care and quality that's taken into consideration as we make our products every day.
But don't think you're going to be walking away with any secrets. That is, unless you bump into their most famous family member.
But it's always been a secret. And so there's a more of a public display across the street in the museum. But again, laser guarded, locked away, and nobody knows, just Duke.
Oh, Duke, that loose-lipped, deep red golden retriever. He is their spokes dog.
And lo and behold, he's the most popular member of the family these days.
And if all of this beautiful bean footage is making you hungry, you've come to the right place.
When you visit the Bush's Visitor Center, make sure to leave time and room to visit the Bush's Family Cafe, where they will make delicious foods, of course, with beans. They will offer you the bean of the day. They will also bake beans into delicious desserts, just like this pinto bean pecan pie, and it's delicious.
It is our signature dessert, and it is a must try when you come to the cafe. One of our goals here is to teach people how to use beans in their everyday meal occasion. So we've got a lot of bean bowls. We've also got times where we'll do lasagna with beans in it, or potato soup with beans in it.
Generations tell stories about the entrepreneurial patriarch A.J. Bush, instilling his values of honesty and integrity to his family and his staff. And they are using that very same secret recipe today.
Bush's is a very wholesome company, and we try our best to treat people right. When they come to the visitor center, we treat them like family. They feel at home, and they enjoy hearing about and understanding where their food comes from.
How we've been able to create a product and a brand and that folks can trust and that they really have an affinity for. And that's pretty humbling, actually, to be honest with you. And pretty incredible to think that we were able to kind of build that from our roots here in East Tennessee, and continue to build on that going forward.
How did you like the story? We'd love to hear from you in the comments. If you enjoyed it, we have a lot more where that came from. Here's one you might like, and please click here to subscribe so you'll know when we premiere new videos. Thanks for watching.